Hey y'all, welcome back to Southern Lightwork. I am happy to get back on this table today. It's Sunday. It is getting dark already. I'm still trying to adjust. We do this every year, but it hits the same way every year. I am also, I think it should be a holiday. I don't think it happened today, but Outkast was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That is a huge deal. It should be a national holiday. Because if you are from Atlanta, I'm not from Atlanta. Excuse me, Atlanta. I've been here for the last 30 plus years, so I claim it. But yeah, it's huge for hip hop, period. But just because they are so consequential, like influential, just good. Like, everybody loves Outkast, everybody loves Andre 3000 and Big Boy, like all of the whole Dungeon Clique, Goody Mob, anybody that they produce for, any party that you've been to, you heard an Outkast song, probably Hey Ya, at least. If not something from the speaker box double CD. Like, they changed the entire landscape of hip-hop. So shout out to Outkast. Make me want to talk like somebody from Southwest Atlanta, too strong. Southwest Atlanta, too strong. If you know, you know. Okay. Anyway, I just made some coffee. Yes, it's in the afternoon. I don't care. Don't judge me. But I want to do a money reading today. Something about the energy of money today for the collective and what that might mean, what messages there might be from spirit. I'm gonna pull some charms first. I got on some new nails because I'm still experimenting with these. I'm embracing my femininity, and not that, being girly means feminine, but I'm just trying new things. I'm trying to be more delicate. It really is kind of like a training for me and my clumsy self, because I'm forced to be more mindful about how I move my hands, how quickly I just knock stuff over all the time. I'm dropping stuff all the time. So this is also just, like I said, it's training for just being more graceful, I will say. So, if they pop off, just keep watching. Don't say nothing. Mind your business. Okay. So what I've been doing recently is like just pulling a few charms at a time, though, not one at a time. So I'm curious to see what comes out when I do that. But first, I'm going to invoke the most powerful of my ancestors, the most benevolent, the most protective, those that are hovering in the highest white light that there is, closest to the divine, who have been watching over me and protecting me all of my life before I even entered into this incarnation. And I ask the Most High God to allow me to channel this energy, to channel the messages that are coming through that are meant for our highest good. Nothing else may enter unless it is of the purest and most pure and the highest vibration. And so it is. So I'm just going to pull a few out and see what comes out with the intention of money. What I feel right now before I even pull these out is that money, it's tight right now, right? For most all of us who are, even, people that have more than enough. I feel like there is some concern, obviously, because of what's happening in the world and new tax laws and all these things. But I want this message to be clear and concise. Some advice for how we move forward, what to expect, and how we can view our money in a different way. From less of a place of lack and more of a place of abundance. So let's see what Spirit has for us. Okay. So we get music notes. That is very significant for me because I have a feeling this is going to be about like what we can do to increase. I'm sorry, I need to turn that around. What we can do to increase our financial abundance, right? I got a letter Y for whatever that means for you. I'm getting youth. I'm getting yellow. I'm getting yes. Some of you need to say yes to an opportunity, to an idea that you've had that you've been sitting on. I got a bear paw. It always gives me like making an imprint of some type. I got a star. I like to make sure these don't have colors. Yeah, this one has it's concave on one side. So like it looks like a cookie cutter. And then on the other side, it's got like little dots on it, which makes me think of like, for some reason, polka dots. Like somebody may be into fashion. Sorry, my neighbor's being very obnoxious right now with their little motorcycle. Letter K. That gives me kind. It gives me kids. Maybe you want to do something for kids. Write books. Write TV shows, scripts. Make toys. You know, whatever it is. I also get the names Keith and Kelly. Maybe significant. Libra, of course, can be significant. Just got out of Libra season. Could be in your chart somewhere. Sun, Moon, Rising, Mars, Venus, North Node, and an owl. Owls are definitely symbols of wisdom, also of nocturnal. Like you may, I don't know if all owls are nocturnal, but you may work best at night, you find, or you may need to try that. It also makes me, I just read a story or skimmed through a story this morning about like actual legislation concerning killing hundreds and thousands of a certain type of owl because they've kind of like taken over territory of a spotted owl that is less aggressive. And I didn't even read the whole thing, but I'm like, of all the things that our legislators could be, and I get, we got to think about wildlife too, but during a government shutdown, that's what they're talking about. They're just playing in our faces. But anyway, for this purposes of this reading, we're going to think that this owl is about using your wisdom, using your even intuition, you know. Some of us may be putting that off, not trusting ourselves. So I'm going to use my money manifestation oracle deck first. See what messages we need to know. What do we need to know right now to manifest financial abundance? One more shuffle. Let's see. Okay. Right away, we get freedom of time. The freedom to do whatever you want with your time is one of the ultimate benchmarks of an abundant life. You are the master of your schedule. Amen. When I tell you that I'm living proof that even though I'm not making the amount of money that would be considered a lot to quit your job and all that, I'm doing like I've planted seeds to be able to get quote unquote mailbox money. You know, like I have 2 through 4 streams of income right now. One of them is, something that's actually very 3D. They're all 3D, but like working from home, being able to work from home, being creative, even as a caregiver, like I'm blessed. I know I'm blessed. But I've also put in time and I've planted the seeds for this. This is years in the making that I've gotten to this point. So whatever it is that you have conceived of, that if you want to free up some of your time, that may look like quitting your 9-to-5 job or whatever your schedule is, your W-2 job. That may mean trying to start something in addition to that job. You know, everybody says we're not doing side hustles anymore, but like sometimes we got to do that. I did that for many years. I had a full-time job and at least one other part-time. And they laid the groundwork for me to be able to be where I am right now. So just think about how you can free up your time. If that's what you want, you can manifest that. Okay, we got 2. Influencer. You have just the right combination of qualities to connect with an audience, inspire change, and create a positive impact. Some of you may be thinking about that. Focus. It's difficult to be productive when your energy is scattered in so many directions. Yeah, that's a good message. So like an influencer does not have to mean social media. It doesn't have to mean you're getting on TikTok or Instagram. It can mean, or Discord or Twitch or any of the other, really common platforms. You can do all kinds of things. Like we can, literally everything is on the internet. Everybody uses it. If they don't use it themselves, they're connected to people that use it. So there's just so many different ways to reach people. And to give them your product, whatever your product is, whatever your, like if you have a course that you want to give to people to learn something, if you have some, certain education that you can give people, some type of strategy, some type of recipes, if you cook, if you bake, so like there's so many different things that you can do that will generate income. And, nobody wants to hear it, but sometimes you got to do it before you make money. Do it anyway. Keep that job that you have, whatever you're doing to earn income. Then do the thing you love that does not generate income or does not generate a sustainable, I can live off this income until you can. It's all about doing it and believing in it. Believe in yourself before other people believe in you. Right? That's how you get there. You don't get there by just thinking about it, wishing for it. And I heard recently too that like you could have an idea for something and you don't act on it, but now it's out in the ethers. And I don't know if the person that said it was talking about like the Akashic records, but it's like now it's been uttered. It lives now outside of your body. You've told yourself about it. You talked about it. You wrote it down, or you told somebody else about it and they took the idea and ran with it, or just energetically people can feel something that you've come up with that you didn't take action on. So now it's a free-for-all. And then you look up and you see, oh my God, somebody took my idea. They didn't take your idea. You offered it up, right? If you offered it up for the collective or for whoever is motivated to do, and this is not to shit on anybody who hasn't taken action on an idea, but just consider that if you can conceive of it, if you can think of something that has not been done yet, take action. Figure out how you can actually make that thing happen. Get the support you need, get the help you need, apply for a loan if you can, or take up donations. I'm also trying to raise money for other caregivers. It's slow and hard, but people are really having a hard time right now. So I'm just trying to get like, $5, $10 from people, but with the intention of giving it to other people that are having a hard time, that are trying to navigate caregiving. So you can make money for other people too. Just whatever it is. Money is always necessary, even if it's not going in your account to pay for your bills or anything. Like, we need money to make things move, to make things happen. So, pressure. Be aware of how family influences and social pressures are influencing your career choices. Yeah. We get some of the best and worst messages from our family. Why are you doing that? Why would you try that? Why would you think that that's going to make you money? I'm a visual artist. And they didn't discourage me, but my parents didn't think that was going to be anything that could make me any money. You know, coming from where they came from, you get a trade, you go to school, get a degree or more, 2 or 3, and that will help you to get a good job, to start a career. And only so far, you know, like that has worked for many, many, many people. Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes you need to do something in addition. So I've done something in addition. You just have to do what works for you and take your family's advice, you know, unless they are intentionally trying to hurt you or derail you, but like still follow your own intuition. Do what feels right for you. It may be completely different from what your family's done. You may be doing something your family's never done. Not just your immediate family. It may be something that your extended family, many generations back, like nobody's ever been able to do or never done. Debt. Are you in the driver's seat with your debt, or has your debt taken over and placed you in shackles? That's what I'm talking about with mindset. Something I'm working on myself. You know, it's just, we are in a society where debt is very normal. It's normalized. And my family included. I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday. And like, it was actually a celebration when my parents got debt, you know, like they're approved for a loan, approved for this, approved for that. It's like, okay, well now we have, which is really more of an indication that you're living above your means, right? And I mean, not every time they took out a loan because it was for a mortgage or for a car, to finance a car, but nobody taught them. Their parents weren't able to teach them about credit because Black folks in the 30s and 40s were not given the same privileges, right? I'm not going to go down that road, but they did the best with what they had and what they knew. And so all we can do when we learn from our parents and our older siblings and our older aunts and uncles and friends' mistakes is to do better. You know, if you're not comfortable with debt, or it feels like you have more debt than assets or income, and you can't manage it, then maybe it's time to reassess that. What do you need to do to rein that in, to get that under control? Do you need some assistance? Do you need to do like debt consolidation of some type? There are all kinds of resources out there. Taking courses in like financial literacy, and if you have a financial advisor, if you can afford one of those, or some banks and credit unions offer that advice for free as part of your membership. So, yeah. And money itself is really hard to talk about for some people. You know, like there's a lot of shame around it. There's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of judgment from people that are quote unquote good with money, of people who are quote unquote bad with money. So it's like, it's all about perspective. What is important to you? And where do you want to go? What do you want money to do for you? It's a tool. Money is absolutely a tool that is meant to be used to live this 3D life. We don't need it in 5D. We don't need it in the spiritual realm, but we do need it to navigate this life. We need it to do things for us. So let it be a tool. Use it as a tool, like you use a hammer or a screwdriver. I'm shaking my camera. Sorry about that. I don't mean to make y'all dizzy. Bottom of the deck is retirement. Working hard can be a thing of the past. Absolutely. Like, that is my plan. I'm not trying to wait. However, they can raise the retirement age to 92. I don't care. I'm taking control of when I'm able to stop working. That is my plan. So if that's what's important to you, if that's something you value, think about what you need to do to lay the groundwork for that, right? Okay, so I'm going to also pull some cards from this. Your breakthrough is coming. I want to see how this will turn out. How will this turn out, Spirit? It kind of feels like these cards are more about advice. So let's get some outcome. What will be the outcome of freeing up the collective's time? Ooh. Success is already in motion. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. That is good and good news. It's already happening. There's all kinds of movement happening, if y'all can feel this shift, if you can feel the movement around you, even if we can't see it. Friend also reminded me too that, everything that you're doing today, you're not going to see the results of today. You're going to see it in a week from now, a month from now, however long it takes for that to manifest, right? So just know that it's happening. And if you can't see the fruit of your labor yet. Nothing changes if you wait. Absolutely. Time is of the essence. What about focus? What happens if we focus? I got undiagnosed ADHD, diagnosed and undiagnosed. I diagnosed myself. But like, if you cannot focus on anything long enough, you do the best you can. I know, with or without medication, but okay, I guess this card wants us to see it. But focus is required at least for some period of time, right? To get a task or several tasks done. Speak your dreams out loud. Yeah. If you speak your dreams out loud, the universe hears you. God hears you. Even if you're not a person that prays, that verbalizes manifestations. Verbalize your dreams. Write them down. They live outside of you when you speak them out loud and you write them down. You make them tangible. Pressure. What about this pressure? Choose. I mean, absolutely. Choose yourself. If you're under pressure by other outside influences, when you choose yourself, that's when movement happens. The movement that's happening is because y'all have chosen yourselves in some way, some form or fashion. Like, you have decided to put yourself first. That old worn out metaphor for like putting your oxygen mask on first. It's essential. It really is. And it's not selfish. It's not selfish for you to stop people pleasing. It's not selfish for you to consider what you need first, to get yourself ready first before you help everybody else get ready. That you apply for your business license first before you show somebody else the ropes. Because guess what else you do? You can learn and then you can teach other people. So you have to know what you're talking about. Learn by experience, learn by doing. I had this Japanese textile instructor as a textile class in my undergrad. And she was teaching us how to use this, like, I think it was some natural type of material to make stencils, to be able to stencil onto fabric with natural dye. It was such a fun class. But she used to say that all the time. Learn by doing. You got to learn by doing. And yeah, we have different types of learning styles, but all of us eventually, like, however we learn the information, doing it is the final teacher, right? That is how we finally get the experience that we can show people how to do it. And you also, when you make mistakes, you can teach people about the mistakes that you made and how to avoid them. What about debt? What's the outcome of dealing with debt? Okay, that was real volatile. This is worth it. I mean, the way this guy is holding this shield and sword, I hear this is Sparta. Sorry, that was weak. I would never get the part. But I mean, this world is just a mess around him, which gives me, that can be how debt makes us feel. That we're always fighting it, that we're always trying to put out fires, that we're always trying to get past the next thing. And here's another cloud of smoke. Something blew up in that corner. So now we got to get more debt. Or we find out that our debt is increasing. And if we have student loan debt, you know what I'm talking about. But it's worth it to deal with it. It's worth it to not put it off. Find some way to deal with your debt. Because that's energetic too. If you're bogged down with debt and the way you think about that debt is that it makes you feel awful and it makes you feel unworthy and it makes you feel embarrassed, like that energetically is telling the universe that, well, this is just who I am. I don't need anything else. I'm not trying to change. I'm just going to keep feeling like I'm a person with debt and there's nothing I can do about it, but it's worth it. It's worth it to address it. Bottom of this deck, own the room. Like I said, don't let anybody tell you what your future is with your money. That's for you to determine. Completely up to you to determine. Yeah. And actually, I don't think I'm going to do tarot. I'm going to get a few more oracle cards. This is the Beyond the Fog and Shade oracle. It's a cute little deck. I like these messages. I want to see if there's some final messages about this. Give us some final messages, Spirit. It's very clear, very straightforward. It's never just about, making enough money to pay for more things or to be able to afford the debt and bills that you have. It's about what you think about it. Who has contributed to the way that you think about it? Who else do you need to invite into your life that has different ideas about it? That's what I've tried to do over the last maybe decade or so, just like maybe longer, but just trying to develop my own ideas about money, what it means to me, how I interact with it, spending it, because money is meant to flow. It's not meant to, for all the hardcore savers out there and all the hardcore spendthrifts. Like, there needs to be balance. I think I say all the time, almost anything is best in moderation. Spending and saving. Save up for what you need, but spend some money. It's an energetic nod to the universe that I'm not just going to hold on to this like I'll never get any more. I'm willing to let go of it. I'm willing to spend it. I'm willing to do things with this, release it, and let it come back to me. It'll come back in a greater amount. Okay. Believe it and you'll achieve it. Okay. Last messages. A few more messages, please, Spirit. There is no peace without war. Kind of like this guy, right? For sure. And we're not talking about actual warfare, but just inner peace. You got to go through something in order to realize and to really appreciate peace, right? Because I know what it's not. So because I know what it's not, I know what it's like to be financially burdened or to worry about money. So I'm going to free up my time because it's already happening. And I'm getting ready for it. I've been through the fire and I'm ready for this peace. It's funny that this peace sign is on the bomb. You can stop the bomb from going off. Spiritual rooting. That is very significant right now. There are constellations on this card. There's a tree with roots. And this looks like when I was meditating the other day, I imagined myself sitting under a tree like this, but I was actually hugging the tree and like became part of the tree. And my roots like dug into the ground and the rest of my body became part of the bark. That's what this looks like. Root yourself. Connect with your ancestors if that's important to you, if that's something that's meaningful to you, or just like plant seeds. When I'm talking about money, think about the generational wealth you can leave. Even if you don't have any kids, you're influencing the generations after you. Whatever happens with technology when we're gone, when this, we're done with this human life, it's most likely going to be preserved. And younger generations are going to see what you did and be inspired by you. So plant those roots. About focus and speak your dreams out loud. Auroral dream, ether dance. Could be getting messages in your dream state about what you're supposed to be doing, or reinforcing what you want to do. You know, this butterfly is about transformation for sure. And so far, these cards are in sequential order. This is a 24, 25, and a 35. That's a 6, a 7, and an 8. Y'all. Yeah, choose yourself. Confinement. This is not about jail. This is about isolating yourself, being in hermit mode. You know, if that means that you need to distance yourself from people that have negative outlook or they're pessimistic, all they're going to do is try to poo-poo on your ideas. Choose yourself and go into isolation. You know, whatever you need to do. And this doesn't mean locking yourself away and never coming out. You still need to be around people and socialize. But like when you're working on what your next thing is, what the next project is, what your next venture, go within. Lock yourself in your room for 10 minutes, for 2 hours if you can, or wherever you can be alone, in your car. Make voice notes. Document your ideas, even if you can't act on them right away. Like all of the things that you're doing toward what you care about and what you believe in, how you're shifting your energy, the universe hears you and responds to that. It meets you with, you know, the help that you need, the support that you need. What about debt? And this is worth it. That's too many. Let me try that again. Okay. Gonna get multiple cards. So we're gonna take these. No turning back. Pull that all the time. More fire. Like all of the fire in this card. And misleading mask, bogus, shading true self. Damn. So if you are trying to be somebody else, if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, if you're trying to portray a certain financial abundance, a certain level of financial comfortability that you don't have, stop that. You know, it's not fooling anybody forever. And it's just like the energy that you could be spending on getting out of debt is worth it. It's worth it. So yeah, definitely be your true self, be your authentic self with you, and your money knows that you don't have enough of it. If you're trying to, it sounded bad, but like if you're telling, this is real meta, but if you're telling your money, I don't have enough of you, and then on the other side of that coin, you're desperate for it, it's confusing. You know, like, I don't have enough. I need this, I need this, I need this. But if you have more of a gratitude approach to your money, I'm thankful for the bills that I could pay this month. I'm thankful for the car that I have if you have a car. I'm thankful for, donating to my kids' school for a school project. I had enough for that. Like being grateful for what you're able to do and what your money is allowing you to do. And that's the energy you want to be in with money. Gratitude. And believing that you're already abundant. As delusional as it may feel, I know I have enough. I don't have it in my bank account today, but I know I will have enough. For me, it's God will provide. And when I do that, it's almost instantaneous that like I get proof that God will provide. Either God provides at that moment or it comes very quickly. I don't do time frames because it's going to be different for everybody, but just trust that your needs will be provided for you, even if you have no clue where they're coming from. I have had unexpected income. It's in so many people's readings and they're just like, oh my God, somebody's going to get so much money. It hasn't been $1 million, but I have gotten some unexpected income that was enough for me to change my circumstances. So you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that God wants you to have exactly what you want. But it's all about the way you think. That's the sauce for sure. And more fire. Anger and chaos is at the bottom of the deck. Guess what I'm not claiming? Anger and chaos is just, it's always going to be around us. Always. But what do we do in spite of it? How do we not let this consume us? How do we not allow other people's energy, this pressure, to change our vibration, to change what our goals are? Don't let it. Work on your fortitude, your focus, what your plans are. Free up your time so you can own the room. Because whatever you believe about yourself is true. And whatever you believe about your money is also true. So believe that you have enough already. And it will make itself known. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I love y'all. From my imagination to yours.